I stood before the grand doors of the throne room, trying to steady my nerves. Today was the day of the exam at Harvard, where I studied law. I wasn't alone. My friends and girlfriend walked with me in a group of 15. The air was heavy with anticipation. When the doors creaked open, the sight beyond them was breathtaking. A hall of unmatched splendor. Gilded chairs lined the walls, and the faint scent of aged wood and incense filled the air. It was the kind of place that demanded reverence. But something felt wrong. All this opulence, it was a facade. Suddenly, blaring club music shattered the illusion. The grandeur of the hall seemed to ripple, distorting like a reflection on water. A chaotic mob of school children stormed in, their high-pitched screams echoing like nails on glass. Their laughter was sharp, too sharp, cutting into my thoughts. We were ushered to seats, and I sank into one of the ornate chairs. Its velvet surface felt cold and damp, sending a shiver through me. I glanced at my friends, but something was happening to them. Their features blurred, their outlines faded, and one by one they dissolved into shadows. I could feel my heartbeat pounding in my ears. I tried to call out, but no sound came. Then my name was called. Alongside my friend, Vasily, I was led into another room. Not the throne room we had seen before, but a dark, windowless chamber. The air here was thick, almost suffocating. At the center of the room sat a woman. Her face was pale, unnervingly flawless, like a marble sculpture. Her eyes, hollow and dark, seemed to pierce through me. She spoke, but her voice wasn't hers alone. It echoed, layered with whispers and groans as if 100 voices spoke through her. Her questions weren't questions. They were accusations. Each word felt like it tore into my chest, exposing parts of me I didn't want to reveal. I tried to answer, but my voice cracked and faltered. When I finally forced the words out, she tilted her head, her expression calm but chillingly disappointed. "You'll need to come back another time," she said, her tone icy and final. A cold wave washed over me. The weight of her words felt like a sentence, not to return but to remain here, endlessly repeating this nightmare. Panic surged through me, and I bolted toward the door. It slammed shut behind me with a deafening thud. I turned back just in time to see Vasily disappearing through another door. I chased after him, but the moment I crossed the threshold, the world shifted. The polished walls and gold trim were gone, replaced by crumbling concrete. The floor was slick and cold, but as I looked down, I realized it wasn't the floor. It was bodies. Unmoving, lifeless bodies, their faces frozen in silent screams. My stomach churned as I stumbled forward. From the shadows, 4 figures emerged. Their faces were familiar, yet grotesquely distorted, as if twisted by rage and malice. One of them lunged at me, a rusty iron rod clutched in his hand. I barely managed to dodge, grabbing a broken chair leg from the ground and swinging wildly. It connected with his head, and he crumpled. But as soon as he fell, another stepped forward to take his place. The room began to spin. It was no longer a room at all. It shifted around me. An abandoned school, a dark forest, an endless hallway of mirrors. No matter where I turned, they followed. Their laughter echoed in my ears, growing louder, more maniacal. Then I was alone. The silence was worse. It was heavy, oppressive. My breath came in ragged gasps as I looked around. The world had faded into a gray, empty void. I heard footsteps behind me, slow and deliberate. A voice followed, soft and familiar, yet dripping with malice. "You know this exam will never end, don't you?" I turned slowly, and there she was, the woman from the room. Her perfect marble face was cracked now, black liquid seeping from the fractures. Behind her, the throne room reappeared, but it was in ruins. The chairs were toppled, the gold tarnished. Flames licked at the walls, casting long, flickering shadows. She stepped closer, her smile stretching unnaturally wide. The exam isn't about passing, she whispered, her voice like the hiss of steam. It's about how long you can endure. The ground beneath me gave way and I was falling. Her laughter echoed as I plunged into darkness, the ruined throne room shrinking above me. As I fell, I realized the truth. There was no end. This was the test, an eternity of running, fighting, and failing. And I had already failed.